morning to all. My name is Elvie Hernandez, a news anchor of Global News Network, to bring you the breaking news for today. Welcome.
On March 14, 2025, the world watched as former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte appeared before the International Criminal Court in The Hague. Crimes against humanity related to his brutal war on drugs campaign. Duterte's appearance, though virtual, was a significant moment in the court's pursuit of justice for the alleged victims of his bloody crackdown. The former president, who had previously vowed never to submit to the ICC's authority, now found himself subject to its scrutiny. The hearing, lasting approximately 30 minutes, was a somber affair, with Duterte listening intently through headphones, his eyes often closed. Despite the gravity of the situation, Duterte remained defiant, his lawyer, Salvador Medialdea, calling the arrest a politically motivated kidnapping. The stage was set for a legal battle that could have far-reaching implications for international justice and accountability. The world held its breath as the wheels of justice slowly began to turn. The hearing itself was brief, with Duterte only confirming his identity. However, its significance resonated far beyond the courtroom walls. This was a moment many thought would never come. A leader accused of orchestrating widespread atrocities brought before an international tribunal. At the heart of the ICC's case against Duterte are charges of crimes against humanity. These charges stem from his notorious war on drugs campaign, implemented during his presidency from 2016 to 2022. The ICC alleges that Duterte's campaign, far from being a legitimate law enforcement operation, was a systematic and widespread attack on civilians. The court accuses Duterte of being an indirect co-perpetrator in the murders of thousands of Filipinos. The prosecution argues that Duterte, through his words and actions, incited and encouraged the killings. They point to his public pronouncements urging citizens to kill drug suspects and promising protection to law enforcement officers who did so. The ICC's investigation, launched in 2019, gathered evidence from various sources, including witness testimonies, government documents, and video footage. The evidence, they claim, paints a chilling picture of extrajudicial killings, enforced disappearances, and other atrocities committed with impunity. The prosecution argues that these crimes were not isolated incidents, but part of a deliberate and orchestrated policy to eliminate those perceived as threats to society, primarily drug users and dealers. The charges against Duterte are a stark reminder that even heads of state are not above the law. The ICC, as a court of last resort, seeks to hold individuals accountable for the gravest crimes when national justice systems are unable or unwilling to do so. The roots of the charges against Duterte can be traced back to his time as mayor of Davao City. For over 2 decades, Duterte ruled Davao with an iron fist, implementing a controversial anti-crime campaign that saw the deaths of hundreds of alleged criminals and street children. This approach, dubbed Davao Death Squads, drew international condemnation but also garnered support from those who saw it as an effective, albeit brutal, way to combat crime. When Duterte ascended to the presidency, he promised to replicate his Davao model on a national scale. True to his word, Duterte launched his war on drugs campaign shortly after taking office in 2016. The campaign, characterized by nightly police raids and vigilante-style killings, quickly spiraled out of control. Human rights groups estimate that tens of thousands of people, mostly from poor and marginalized communities, were killed. The Philippine government, however, disputes these figures, claiming a much lower death toll. They maintain that the campaign was necessary to address a national security threat posed by illegal drugs. Despite the government's denials, the sheer number of deaths, the brutality of the killings, and the climate of impunity surrounding them raised alarm bells internationally. Duterte's arrest on March 10, 2025 sent shockwaves through the Philippines and beyond. The former president, who had cultivated an image of being untouchable, was apprehended in Manila after returning from a trip to Hong Kong. The arrest, carried out by a joint team of Philippine and international authorities, followed the issuance of an ICC arrest warrant. Duterte, true to his defiant nature, resisted the arrest, threatening lawsuits and accusing the ICC of overstepping its jurisdiction. Despite his protests, he was taken into custody and flown to The Hague under heavy guard. His arrest marked a significant victory for the ICC, demonstrating its reach even in cases involving powerful figures. The arrest was met with mixed reactions in the Philippines. Duterte's supporters, many of whom view him as a strongman who restored order and fought for the common man, took to the streets in protest. They denounced the arrest as a politically motivated attack on a Filipino hero. However, for the families of those killed during the drug war, the arrest brought a glimmer of hope for justice. They had long accused the Philippine justice system of being unable or unwilling to hold those responsible for the killings accountable. Duterte's arrest, they hoped, signaled a turning point in their fight for truth and accountability. In the heart of this turmoil, one family's defiance has become a symbol of resistance. They stand firm, refusing to bow to the pressures around them. Their courage has inspired many, yet it has also deepened the divisions within the nation. As they continue their fight, the country watches, torn between admiration and conflict. This family's story is a testament to the power of conviction and a reminder of the complex forces at play in times of upheaval. In the midst of the ongoing turmoil, there's a glimmer of hope for justice. Recent developments have shown a shift in the legal landscape, offering a beacon of optimism for those seeking accountability. While the journey is far from over, these signs suggest that progress, albeit slow, is being made. The prosecution carries a heavy burden of proof, needing to establish guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. This critical phase demands meticulous preparation and compelling evidence. The stakes are high, and the outcome hinges on the ability to present an airtight case. What we're witnessing is a legal tug-of-war, with both sides fiercely contesting every point. The defense and prosecution are locked in a battle of wits and strategy, each aiming to outmaneuver the other. It's a high-stakes chess game where every move could tip the scales of justice. As the proceedings drag on, the question arises, is justice being delayed or denied? The prolonged nature of the case raises concerns about the efficiency and fairness of the legal system. For many, the wait for a resolution is a test of patience and faith in the promise of justice.
Thank you very much for watching. I am Gina Lopez requesting you to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will notify you for the next one. Again, this is Global News Network bidding you goodbye. See you soon.